In a time when kingdoms clashed and loyalties were tested, a love story unfolded that would challenge fate itself. Two hearts, divided by borders yet bound by destiny, were about to embark on an unforeseen journey. Would their powerful bond withstand the trials of war and betrayal? In the First Kingdom, nestled in verdant hills, Princess Elara gazed out from her balcony, longing for freedom beyond her castle walls. Trained to uphold the honor of her family, she felt trapped in a life of duty. Yet her heart yearned for adventure and true love. Meanwhile, across the mountains, Prince Kale of the rival kingdom prepared for battle, yet his thoughts drifted to the stories of a mysterious maiden said to possess an enchanting spirit. His heart was torn between duty and a growing desire to know her, a conflict that gnawed at his very soul. Fate intervened when a surprise encounter at the border led to a chance meeting between Ilara and Kale. Their eyes locked, igniting a spark that neither could explain nor resist. In that fleeting moment, the world around them faded, leaving only the undeniable connection they shared. As they exchanged words, their differences began to dissolve. They shared tales of their lives, their dreams, and the burdens of their crowns. Each confession drew them closer, weaving an invisible thread of understanding and compassion they never expected. But their budding romance did not go unnoticed. Spies from Kale's kingdom reported back to their leader, inciting jealousy and fury among the nobility. Whispers of betrayal echoed throughout the land, threatening to expose their secret. As tensions rose, Elara's father summoned her, insisting she marry a powerful ally to secure peace. Heartbroken, she felt the chains of duty tighten around her. How could she choose duty over love when her heart belonged to Kale? Conflicted yet determined, Elara sought advice from her wise grandmother, who had once faced a similar choice. With tears glistening, her grandmother shared stories of love that defied all odds, igniting a fire within Alara to fight for her heart. Meanwhile, Kale grappled with his own turmoil as he received orders to invade Elara's kingdom. Torn between loyalty to his people and his feelings for Elara, he faced a harrowing decision that could change the fate of their love forever. In a brave moment, Kale decided to take a stand against his king. He secretly met with Elara under the cloak of night, pledging to protect her and their love. Their plans of escape ignited their spirits, yet danger lurked in every shadow. However, their secret was soon discovered. A traitor within the ranks of Kale's army reported their plans, leading to chaos as soldiers from both kingdoms converged at the border, ready to battle for honor and love. With emotions running high, Ilara bravely stepped forward to plead for peace. Her voice rang out, commanding attention, and for a moment, silence fell over the battlefield. She proclaimed that love could conquer even the most entrenched enmities. Kale, inspired by Ilara's courage, joined her side. Together, they spoke of unity and the strength that love could bring to their divided lands. Their words resonated, igniting a flicker of hope in the hearts of the warriors. But the moment of peace was fragile. A general, furious at their defiance, ordered his troops to attack. In that instant, Elara and Kale realized the depth of their love and the sacrifices they would have to make to protect it. With resolve, Elara and Kale turned to face the oncoming soldiers. They grasped each other's hands tightly, ready to fight not just for their lives, but for the love that had blossomed against all odds. In a fierce battle, swords clashed and hearts raced. Elara and Kale fought valiantly, drawing strength from each other. Their love became a beacon in the chaos, inspiring those around them to rise against the tide of hatred. Amidst the turmoil, Kale was injured, a blade piercing his side. As he fell to the ground, panic surged through Elara's heart. She rushed to his side, her tears mingling with the dust of the battlefield, a symbol of their shared pain. Through gritted teeth, Kale urged Elara to flee, to save herself, but her heart refused to let him go. With a fierce resolve, she declared that she would never abandon him. Not now, not ever. In that moment, as the battle raged on, they made a promise to fight together no matter the cost. Their love, forged in the fires of conflict, became their greatest weapon against despair. With renewed strength, they rose together, rallying the soldiers around them. Elara's voice rang like a war cry, urging everyone to fight for love, for unity, forging a new path in the midst of chaos. As the battle reached its climax, both kingdoms felt the shift. Elara and Kale's love resonated through the hearts of the warriors, softening their resolve against one another, leading to moments of hesitation in the fight. But just as victory seemed possible, the general unleashed a final ambush, forcing Elara and Kale to confront not only their enemies, but the realities of their divided worlds. With hearts entwined, Elara and Kale fought back to back, each movement a testament to their unyielding bond. Every strike against the enemy echoed their resolve to protect their love at all costs. In a final surge of courage, Elara and Kale led a charge towards the general, their love fueling their every step. Together, they faced their greatest foe, ready to bring down the walls of hatred between their kingdoms. As they reached the general, a fierce battle unfolded. Their combined strength and unwavering love overwhelmed him, leading to a moment of reckoning for both kingdoms as the tide of war shifted. In a stunning turn of events, the general was finally bested, and the soldiers on both sides began to lower their weapons. Realizing the futility of their fight, Elara and Kale had sparked a change that would ripple through their kingdoms. As the dust settled, Elara and Kale stood together, the weight of their journey heavy upon them yet filled with hope. They realized that love, though tested by trials, had triumphed, forging a new bond between their kingdoms. Their love had grown stronger through adversity, proving that it could bridge even the deepest divides. Elara and Kale were not just partners, but symbols of a new era, where love reigned over rivalry. As they returned to their kingdoms, their tale spread like wildfire, inspiring change and reconciliation. What began as a forbidden love blossomed into a movement that transformed their worlds forever. Elara and Kale's journey reminds us that love can be the greatest force for good, capable of overcoming even the darkest challenges. Their story, a testament to loyalty and courage, will inspire generations to believe in the power of love. As the sun set behind the mountains, whispers of rebellion filled the air. The people rallied under Kale's leadership, inspired by love and the promise of freedom. Yet, with every fiery speech, Alara felt the weight of her family's expectations pressing upon her. Alara stood at the edge of the crowd, her heart torn between duty and desire. She longed to join Kale but feared the consequences of defying her family's legacy. The tension in the air crackled like the embers of a dying fire. In the heart of the rebellion, Kale strategized with his allies, unaware of the storm brewing within Elara's soul. Each plan they crafted echoed with the hope of a better future. But Kale couldn't shake the feeling that love would complicate their mission. Elara's brother, a staunch supporter of the existing regime, caught wind of her secret visits to Kale. His suspicions ignited a firestorm of concern, forcing Elara to choose between her family and the love she had found. As tensions escalated, Kale received word that a raid was planned against his followers. The urgency to act clashed with his desire to protect Elara, leading him to make a heart-wrenching decision that could change everything. Elara, determined to prove her loyalty, disguised herself and ventured into the enemy's territory. With every step, she felt the weight of her family's name and the risk of betrayal looming over her head. In the enemy's camp, she overheard plans that could endanger Kale and his followers. Her heart raced as she realized she had to return to warn him. But now she was trapped in a web of deceit. Back in the rebel camp, Kale sensed the change in the air. He gathered his leaders, strategizing for the inevitable confrontation. Unbeknownst to him, Elara raced against time to deliver her warning. Elara finally reached Kale, breathless and desperate. She shared the information, her voice trembling as she spoke, hope and fear intertwined as they realized the enormity of the challenge ahead. In the days that followed, love and loyalty were tested as their plans unfolded. Kale and Alara stood side by side, united in their cause, but aware that their relationship could draw scrutiny from both sides. As the rebellion intensified, so did the external pressures. Alara's brother confronted her once more, demanding she abandon Kale and return to their family's side. His words pierced her heart like a dagger. Alara stood firm, her decision made. She would not betray the love that had ignited within her. With each exchange, she felt the stakes rise, realizing that loyalty to her heart came with grave consequences. Kale, too, felt the pressure mounting. His leadership was under scrutiny, and the lines between friend and foe began to blur. Trust was fragile, and he feared losing everything he fought for. In a moment of vulnerability, Kale confided in Alara about his fears. He questioned whether their love could withstand the trials of war. Their shared vulnerability deepened their bond, but it also opened wounds of uncertainty. Despite the odds, Ilara remained resolute. She sought ways to bridge the divide between the kingdoms, believing that love could inspire change. Each act of kindness became a seed of hope in a war-torn world. As battles raged on, Ilara and Kale found themselves at a crossroads. A significant decision loomed before them, one that would determine the fate of their love and the future of their kingdoms. Faced with the daunting task of uniting their divided worlds, Ilara proposed a bold plan. It was risky, but she believed it could change their fates forever. Kale listened, intrigued but apprehensive. Just as unity seemed within reach, betrayal lurked in the shadows. A trusted ally revealed their intentions, threatening to unravel everything Elara and Kale had worked for. The tension in the air was palpable. With their plans hanging by a thread, Elara felt an overwhelming sense of urgency. She reached out to Kale, their connection stronger than ever in moments of crisis. Together, they plotted their next move. As the final confrontation loomed, Elara and Kale prepared themselves for the battle ahead. Love burned brightly in their hearts, offering strength amidst chaos, but doubt still lingered at the edges of their minds. On the eve of battle, they shared a quiet moment, reflecting on all they had sacrificed. Words of love and promises filled the air, but underneath lay a fear of what the dawn would bring. As dawn broke, the battlefield trembled with anticipation. Elara and Kael led their forces, hearts united but minds racing with uncertainty about what was to come. With a battle cry, they charged forward, love fueling their determination. The clash of swords echoed across the field, but in the chaos, they fought not just for their kingdoms, but for one another. In the midst of the turmoil, Elara spotted her brother fighting on the opposing side. Heart racing, she had to make a choice: save her family or protect the love that had become her lifeblood. Kale, sensing Alara's inner conflict, fought fiercely but kept his eyes on her. He knew that her loyalty would be tested in ways he could never imagine, and the impending outcome weighed heavily on him. As the battle raged, Elara's heart shattered with each clash of steel. She called out to her brother, hoping to reach the part of him that still loved her. Would love be enough to bridge the chasm of war? Time seemed to stand still as her brother hesitated. For a brief moment, the battlefield faded away, and all that remained was the bond they once shared. Ilara's heart ached for that connection. But just as hope flickered, the sound of an enemy's charge jolted them back to reality. With a heavy heart, Elara realized that love alone wouldn't save them. Action was necessary. In a moment of sheer instinct, Elara made her choice. She threw herself into the fray, protecting her brother even as the lines of war blurred around her. Love meant sacrifice, and she was ready. Kale, seeing Alara's bravery, surged forward to join her. Together they fought side by side, love intertwining with their resolve. becoming a beacon of hope amidst the dark shadows of war. As the battle reached its peak, both sides faced devastating losses. Elara and Kale's love was a flickering flame, but it refused to be extinguished. They vowed to fight for one another, come what may. In the aftermath, as silence fell upon the battlefield, Elara searched for her brother. She understood that love required forgiveness even amid conflict, and she yearned for reconciliation. Finally, she spotted him, wounded but alive. Elara rushed to his side, her heart swelling with a mix of relief and sorrow. In that moment, they were no longer enemies, just siblings yearning for understanding. With trembling hands, she reached out, whispering words of love and forgiveness. She wanted him to know that the bond they shared was stronger than any war. Her brother's eyes softened, and for a moment, they were united again. Kale, witnessing the reconciliation, felt a surge of hope. He rushed to Alara's side, embracing her tightly. Together they understood that love could be a powerful catalyst for change, even in the darkest times. As they regrouped, Elara and Kale knew they had to find a way to heal their kingdoms. They would not just fight for power, they would fight for unity, fueled by the love that had brought them together. With their armies behind them, they addressed their followers, sharing their vision for peace. Together, they united in a common goal, realizing that their love story could inspire a new era of cooperation. The path ahead was fraught with challenges, but Alara and Kale were undeterred. They believed that love could forge bonds strong enough to withstand any adversity, igniting a movement for peace. In the following weeks, they worked tirelessly to mend the wounds of war. Alara organized healing camps for the wounded, while Kale negotiated treaties that would establish lasting peace. With each small victory, their love deepened. They grew closer, realizing that they were not just fighting for their kingdoms, but for a future where love could triumph over hatred. As time passed, the kingdoms began to heal. The people, inspired by Alara and Kale's unwavering bond, stood together, fostering an environment where love and peace could flourish. Alara and Kale became symbols of resilience and hope. Their love story transcended the boundaries of war, proving that unity could emerge from the ashes of conflict. And thus, their journey continued. Every challenge they faced solidified their commitment to one another and their cause. Together, they would build a legacy of love that would inspire generations. In the hearts of their people, Ilara and Kale's love became a legend, a reminder that even amid pain, love could carve paths towards peace, and that together, they could create a better tomorrow. As the sun set on their kingdoms, Ilara and Kale stood hand in hand, witnessing the dawn of a new era. Their love, once forbidden, had become the cornerstone of a brighter future, reminding all that true loyalty and love can conquer all. The dawn brought whispers of uncertainty across the United Kingdoms. Ilara and Kale, now symbols of hope, sensed the unrest brewing in the hearts of their people. The once celebrated union faced scrutiny and doubt as old rivalries threatened to resurface. In the royal court, nobles exchanged glances filled with skepticism. Some questioned Kale's worthiness, others feared Elara's influence could overshadow their traditions. A council meeting was convened, tensions palpable in every breath shared among them. During the council, an elder noble stood, voice trembling with age and authority. "What of our ancestors' alliances?" he questioned. "Will we forsake our heritage for this fleeting affection?" His words struck like lightning, igniting a firestorm of debate. Elara's heart raced as she listened, a wave of doubt crashing over her. She knew their love was strong, yet the weight of tradition bore heavily on her shoulders. Would they be able to withstand the storms brewing within their own people? Meanwhile, Kale met with his closest advisors to strategize. They discussed potential threats, both from rival factions and dissenters within their own ranks. Loyalty was a fragile thread, and the fabric of their alliance was at risk. As whispers of rebellion circulated, Ilara and Kale decided to strengthen their bond publicly. They planned a grand celebration, inviting all nobles and commoners alike, hoping to quell the rising tensions with a display of unity. The night of the celebration arrived, illuminated by twinkling lights and laughter. Ilara and Kale, hand in hand, took center stage, their presence a beacon of hope. Yet, they both felt the weight of the gazes upon them, some warm, some cold. As they danced beneath the stars, a shadowy figure loomed at the edge of the festivities. It was a disgraced noble from Kale's kingdom, seething with resentment. His eyes were filled with a desire for vengeance, plotting to shatter their harmony. Back at the celebration, laughter echoed, but Alara could not shake the feeling of unease. The energy shifted subtly, and she caught a glimpse of the shadowy figure. Her instincts warned her that danger was closer than she had imagined. Suddenly, a loud commotion erupted. The disgraced noble had thrown a challenge, demanding Kale to prove his worth in a duel. Gasps filled the air, and the revelry halted. The atmosphere turned electric with the weight of the unexpected duel. Kale stood tall, heart pounding, yet determination filled his gaze. He could not back down, not now, not ever. Elara's eyes searched his, filled with both pride and concern. This was more than a duel. It was a test of their love and loyalty. The duel commenced, swords clashing, a dance of fate unfolding before the eyes of the crowd. Alara's heart raced with each strike, every movement echoing their love's fragile resilience. Would Kale emerge victorious, or would this challenge break them apart? As the fight raged on, the disgraced noble's anger fueled his every strike. Kale, although skilled, could feel the weight of the crowd watching him. Their expectations weighed heavily on his shoulders, adding pressure to an already precarious situation. Ilara could hardly breathe, each clash of steel echoing the turmoil in her heart. She knew that this duel was not just for Kale's honor, but for their future. If he lost, it would shatter the very foundation of their love. With a final flourish, Kale managed to disarm his opponent, the noble falling to the ground in defeat. The crowd erupted in cheers, but Ilara felt a different sensation, a bitter reminder that victory was not always sweet when loyalty was at stake. Though Kale had won, the shadow of doubt loomed larger than before. The disgraced noble's words had sown seeds of discord among the people. Would they truly accept their union, or would old prejudices rise from the ashes? Elara and Kale retreated to a serene garden, seeking solace among the blooming flowers. Here, they could speak freely, away from the pressures of the kingdom. But their joy was still tainted by the uncertainty of their future. What if they never accept us? Elara's voice quivered, the weight of her worries hanging in the air. Kale took her hands, his grip firm and reassuring. We will fight for our love, no matter the cost, he vowed, determination in his eyes. As the days passed, rumors spread like wildfire. Supporters of both kingdoms began to voice their opinions, creating divides. Some hailed Alara as a champion of unity, while others branded her a traitor to their heritage. Their love was being tested anew. Elara and Kale understood that the storm was far from over. They needed allies who believed in their vision of unity. With resolve, they set out to meet influential figures from both kingdoms, in hopes of building a coalition for peace. Their first stop was the wise sorceress living on the edge of the enchanted forest. Known for her foresight, many sought her guidance. She would be the key to not only their success, but to understanding the hearts of the people. As they entered her abode, the air thickened with magic. The sorceress spoke, her voice a soft melody. Love and loyalty are intertwined, but they can bend under pressure. You must show the world the strength of your bond to inspire others. Inspired by her words, Elara and Kale left with newfound determination. They began to devise a plan to host a grand gathering, a festival that would symbolize their unity and invite all to witness their love firsthand. Weeks passed as they prepared for the festival. The townsfolk began to buzz with excitement, some eager to see the couple's vision come to life, while others remained skeptical. Could this festival truly change minds? Finally, the day of the festival arrived. Colorful banners fluttered in the breeze with laughter and music filling the air. Elara stood by Kale's side, their hearts racing with anticipation, ready to face whatever came their way. As the festivities began, a sudden hush fell over the crowd. The shadowy figure from the duel had returned, his eyes glinting with malicious intent. He raised his voice, intent on disrupting the celebration and igniting further discord. "This is a mockery of our traditions," he bellowed, pointing at Elara and Kale. "You two think love can erase centuries of history? You will fail, and I will make sure of it." His words carved through the jubilant atmosphere like a dagger. Elara stepped forward, heart pounding, but her resolve grew stronger. "We honor our history while forging a new path," she declared, her voice rising above the murmurs. She had to convince them, had to show them the power of love. Kale joined her, standing shoulder to shoulder. "Love is not a weakness, it is our greatest strength," he proclaimed, his voice echoing through the square. Together they faced the crowd, determined to turn doubt into hope. The crowd wavered, caught between old grudges and the couple's fervent belief. Murmurs spread, some began to cheer, while others remained silent, still wrestling with their emotions. Could love truly transcend their differences? Then, a brave voice rose from the back of the crowd, a young girl, full of innocence. "I believe in love," she shouted, her voice ringing clear. It pierced through the tension, bringing a moment of unity among the divided. Inspired by her courage, others began to join in, shouting words of support. Elara and Kale exchanged hopeful glances, feeling the tide shift. Hope surged like a wave, drowning out the shadow of doubt. The shadowy figure, realizing he was losing control, attempted to retreat into the crowd, but Kale spotted him, determination igniting within him. "You cannot silence those who believe in love," he shouted, rallying the crowd. The atmosphere crackled with energy as more voices joined Kale's in a chorus of affirmation. Elara felt the love swell around them, a tangible force that pushed back against the darkness. Together, they were rewriting their story. As the festival continued, Elara and Kale moved through the crowd, embracing those who had once doubted them. Each hug, each smile reaffirmed their belief in unity and slowly began to heal old wounds. Just as hope seemed to settle, news arrived of unrest brewing on the borders of their kingdoms. A faction opposed to their union was rallying, planning an uprising intent on tearing apart the future they had envisioned. Alera's heart sank as she realized their struggle was far from over. They had ignited hope, yet now they faced an even greater challenge. Would their loyalty and love be enough to stand against the storm brewing at their doorstep? Together, they vowed to confront the impending threat. Elara knew they must rally their supporters, gather strength, and unite the hearts of their kingdoms once more. The fight for their love and future had only just begun. They organized a council meeting inviting representatives from all factions. Elara stood at the forefront, ready to plead her case for peace and unity. Yet, she knew that distrust ran deep, and many would resist their message. As she spoke, her voice resonated with sincerity. "We are stronger together than apart. Our love can be the bridge that connects us, but only if we choose to let it. Join us in this fight for a united future." Kale stood beside her, his presence a testament to their united front. "We have faced challenges before, and we will face this one together. We owe it to our people to strive for a better tomorrow." His words ignited a flicker of hope among the crowd. Yet, amid the murmurs of agreement, dissent grew louder. A strong opposition leader rose, shaking his head. "You speak of unity, yet you ignore our past. Your love cannot erase the scars left by history." His words rang out like thunder. Elara felt her heart sink but refused to back down. "We acknowledge our past, but we cannot be bound by it. Love is a choice, and we choose to build a future together." Her eyes scanned the crowd, searching for allies. The room erupted in chaos, voices clashing as supporters and dissenters argued. Elara caught Kale's eye, a silent understanding passing between them. Whatever the outcome, they would face it together, united in their love. As the debates intensified, Elara realized they needed to take action beyond words. They proposed a shared journey to the borders, to witness the struggles firsthand and show their commitment to healing the divisions. The council members were hesitant, but the idea sparked a flicker of intrigue. They agreed to embark on this journey, hoping that first-hand experience might change their perspectives. Elara and Kale's resolve deepened as they prepared. Days later, the journey began. Elara and Kale rode at the front, their hearts set on bridging the gap between their kingdoms. It was a perilous path, fraught with the remnants of discord and mistrust. They had to tread carefully. As they arrived at the border, the atmosphere grew tense. Villagers watched with wary eyes, old grudges surfacing. Elara felt the weight of their collective history pressing down on her, but she stood taller, ready to face them. Elara stepped forward, her voice steady. "We come in peace," she called out, hoping to reach their hearts. "We are here to listen to your stories and understand your pain. Together, we can find a way forward." Her words pierced through the tension. Some villagers stepped forward, sharing their grievances, voices trembling with emotion. They spoke of loss, fear, and anger, emotions that Elara and Kale both understood. This was what the couple had hoped for, a chance to connect. As the stories unfolded, Elara felt tears welling in her eyes. Each tale was a reminder of the scars left by conflict. The couple vowed to honor these stories, to carry the weight of the past forward into their future together. After hours of listening and sharing, a sense of camaraderie began to blossom. The barriers that had separated them started to crumble, replaced by understanding and empathy. Hope flickered in the eyes of many villagers. Yet, not all were convinced. A loud dissenting voice rang out, reigniting the old flames of resentment. "You think you can erase our pain with words," the villager shouted, challenging Elara and Kale's intentions. Elara felt her heart race once more, but Kale squeezed her hand, reminding her to stay grounded. "We are not here to erase your pain. We are here to share it and find healing together," he said, his voice steady and calming. Slowly, the tension began to ease. Some villagers nodded in understanding, recognizing the sincerity in Kale's words. Elara seized the moment, suggesting they gather regularly to share their stories and foster connections going forward. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the group, Elara felt hope blossom within her heart. This was the beginning of change, a new chapter that transcended the past. Together, they could rebuild their future. With renewed determination, Elara and Kale returned to their kingdoms, ready to share what they had learned. They aimed to inspire their people with stories of connection, challenging the narratives that had long divided them. Upon their arrival, they gathered the citizens in both kingdoms to share their experiences. Elara's voice rang through the square, filled with passion and hope, as she recounted the stories of the villagers who yearned for peace. As she spoke, Kale noticed the skepticism in some faces, but also the glimmers of hope. He stepped forward, sharing his own journey of doubt and realization, emphasizing the power of unity amidst the clash of differences. The citizens listened intently, their hearts slowly opening to the vision of a unified future. Elara and Kale felt the pulse of hope growing stronger, a collective energy that enveloped them both. Yet, as they left the square, a sense of unease surfaced. They had ignited hope, but there were still those unwilling to embrace change. Elara vowed to continue fighting for their love, even if it meant facing adversity alone. Elara spent nights plotting strategies to unify the kingdoms. Each plan was a step towards healing, but she knew that true change would take time and perseverance. Kale remained by her side, supporting her unconditionally. As time passed, they organized smaller gatherings, each one fostering understanding and compassion. Slowly, the shared stories began to weave a tapestry of connection, allowing for healing among the citizens of both kingdoms. But just as they felt progress, rumors of rebellion surfaced again, this time fueled by fearmongers who thrived on discord. Elara and Kael knew they had to act swiftly to quell this unrest before it divided them once more. As the sun set on the kingdoms, Elara and Kael stood together, hearts intertwined with hope and fear. The journey ahead was uncertain, but their love burned brightly, a guiding light in the darkness that lay ahead.